It said we live. I'm about to check it. Okay. Okay. All right, it said we good.
All right.
Okay. All right. Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there, the 144,000 who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And this a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp. We got the Elder Taza Pa, hey, the one and only, the beloved elder, Elder Taza Pa, And but nevertheless, we're gonna continue as it was every week, although it's Thanksgiving. Everybody out there celebrating Esau so-called holiday, right? But we're gonna continue to bring out this news, man. Because this one thing we thankful for, that the Lord opened up our eyes to understand prophecy. That the Lord gave us the insight on the current events and the future events that's set to take place, man. These are the things we thankful for. But nevertheless, it's another opportunity to touch on the news that's going on out there to edify the sheep on. So in this segment, which we started a little early, I know we usually go around 8:30, but we started a little early. It's all good. But tonight we kind of want to touch on, as I say in the title, Thursday Live, 15-minute cities has begun. So they already started. You got it.
I want to kick off with a quick precept. You mentioned prophecy. So Revelation 19:10 says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren, that have the testimony of Yahweh. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh is the spirit of prophecy."
That's it. What our Lord was focused on, Yahweh Shai, who the world called Jesus, was prophecy, things to be fulfilled. He spoke about that daily, that he had to do certain things so the scripture could be fulfilled. Mention certain things so the scripture could be fulfilled. Well, we talking about things that gotta be fulfilled, man. And as we read, even in the scriptures, it mentioned 15-minute cities. It don't say that directly, using that terminology, but it said how the cities is gonna be cut off. In 2nd Ezra 15. And also we want to touch on it's gonna be a heavy push for the CBDC in 2024. That's another thing they're coming with. Which as we know what it is, 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter, in verse 37, how it says the Most High measured the times and how he numbered the times, and he do it not stir nor move them until the said measures be fulfilled. Because when you look at the beginning of the year, the Thursday Lives was hitting on the Fed now system, the finances, everybody going digital. And then towards the end of the year, the middle of the year, the Lord switched that and turned it into war. It was mainly war being pushed out in Ukraine with Russia, Hamas and Israel, World War III. But now, as we see, when we're going back into a new year, 2024, what's been, as we're going to play a little bit, what they talking about coming back are being pushed out in the mainstream media, the CBDC, man. Which these been the two hot topics for the past 2 years, World War III and the CBDC. Why? Because the last few prophecies left is the mark of the MOTB and World War III. So they gonna keep going back and forth, man. So now, as we see, we coming out of the season of war, which that's gonna continue. But the Lord also about to pick up the talk of a digital dollar once again, as we've been touching on the beginning of the year, man. So everything is falling into place. You see, but you got some Zaquan. If not, we can hop into it.
No, not at the moment.
Okay, kind. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. So before we get into the news, I just want to kind of make a couple honorable mentions. You know, now you had this the other day. It happened from November 22nd, which was yesterday. It was breaking news at the time, but it says that a car blast hit the U.S. and Canada border, the crossing of it. So it was this bridge called the Rainbow Bridge. And you know, you had these explosives. I guess a guy who had explosive in his car, but they said it's a terrorist attack. Now again, we know these things supposed to come because the past few weeks or a month or so, they've been talking about the day of jihad with these Palestinians or these other nations, you know, having sleeper cells over here in America to plot terrorist attacks. So once I seen this, my first thought was like, okay, so now it begins. You know, they throwing little false flags out here, and especially it was the Canada and America border. Another thought was they cutting off Americans' access to leave the country.
Well, that was up there by Niagara Falls.
Come.
Yeah. O'Reilly just said that they debunked that shit. So
Okay.
they say it's just a drunk cracker ran into the bridge.
Okay. Come.
Yeah, so that's what Elder Ariala reported on the algorithm update, the algo update he did just today.
Okay, come.
So yeah, it's we in the age of fake news. So
Hey, that's right.
everything that you see Esau put out there, you got to kind of take it with a grain of salt. But maybe that was the cover story. Maybe it was a terror attack, and then they trying to put out this cover story. We don't know. But just to give you the report, I rather say it was just somebody drunk ran into the bridge.
Okay, Khan, the water's a Quan, as y'all pop. You see? That's good. So, and even that, for the edification of the body. So now we know these things.
Right.
You see? That's all it's for the edification of the body. And that's why it's important to constantly and daily edifying what's going on, because as the elder said, there's going to be a lot of fake news going out and a lot of real things going on. But the Lord set the prophets up to let the body know what's real and what's not. You see?
Right.
But let's hop into this. The first segment of the lesson, as it says, 15-minute cities has begun. Now, as we know, China, they are the forerunners of this new world being digital. So this from November 19th, and the website is Independent Centennial. November 19th, it says China's building a 15-minute city for 4 million with cameras, social credits, and CBDCs. It says Mayost, China is quickly rising as the most formidable superpower in the world and could eventually become the only superpower in the world. They are quickly consolidating power in Asia, Africa, the Middle East, and South America. They are active here in the United States, and they have total control of their own people and plan out their first 15-minute city, which will be able to accommodate 4 million people. It says the more the globalists form global organizations, and the easier it will be for them to take them over. Just one caveat people might want to consider is that Mayo's China is already extremely influential in the World Health Organization, which is WHO, and the United Nations, and the World Economic Forum, which we've been hearing about, that Klaus Schwab. So you see who got their hand in building these new economies, 15-minute cities. The same ones who so-called run the world, mainly Esau, Edom, although you got other nations who got faces in there, right? But this is part of the NWO, as we touched on last week, how we got DPI, Digital Public Infrastructure. Before they could fully roll out a CBDC and have everybody go digital, the system got to be reset, and even the infrastructure of America have to be reset, not just America, but the whole world.
That's right.
And that's what they're working on. You got something?
No. Go ahead.
Come. So it says, so this will included in this, in building 15-minute cities. Let's read it again. It says the World Health Organization, which is WHO, the United Nations, and the World Economic Forum, and most of the remaining globalist organizations that have multiplied exponentially since the 1980s. It says the Zhejiang city is considered one of the world's largest construction sites. On the site is the largest 15-minute city. The UN and the World Economic Forum want to see this worldwide. And that's another thing. We've been, even in Houston, if the brother Lamar Moth may be tuning in, man, he was just talking about this a couple of weeks ago, how they throwing up these apartments just nonstop. Throwing all these kind of apartments up, and they don't even look like so-called luxury apartments. They don't even have balconies, don't even have windows really on the side. They just been throwing up these apartments. But as we're going to look in this article, that's what they're doing right here in this 15-minute city, just throwing up apartment buildings, man.
I know you heard about the line, right?
What you say?
I know you heard about the line, right?
Nuh-uh.
Well, that's one that 15-minute city that they're planning in Saudi Arabia, somewhere out in the desert, right in smack in the middle of the desert. They're gonna have this. It's just gonna be one long line, and it's gonna be apartments, everything you need. Yeah, they calling it the line. That's Saudi Arabia's project, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, it's out in that. They gonna put it right smack dab in the middle of the desert.
Okay, con. Hey, Zaquan, it says an echo. It says an echo. I'm not sure if you got the app open up on another slide or something on your TV or something. But they saying it's an echo. It says it's real bad too. I don't know if you got to open up twice, like YouTube opened up somewhere else as well.
Check. No, it's just that one.
Okay, come on. Let's see. I'm try to mute you and put you back on. Can y'all still hear the echo? Let me know. Yeah, we're gonna keep it pushing. I guess Aquan, if you can, mute your mic, Baba Kasha, until because I ain't too sure how bad is that going or what.
All right.
But bring up whatever, But we'll continue on this article, and if y'all can, let me know if it's still echoing. But let's continue. So going back to this article, it says the Zhejiang city plan is to relocate 4 million people from Beijing to Zhejiang, both voluntary and coercively. So people who willing to do it and people who they're gonna force to do it. It says every lamppost will reportedly include facial recognition. So let's read this real quick. Let's watch this video. So it says a 15-minute city for 4 million people being designed to control 100% of their environment with a social credit score, which we've been talking about that weekly, and central bank digital currency. China can monitor everything. Are you ready for this in Europe and the US? Let's play it real quick. Let me turn on the sound, because you gotta have a majestic sound like it's turn on the sound. It make you feel good, as Esau with his propaganda. Right? So that was a quick little vid. You see the construction going up, and look, everything close together. They need everybody close, and you can't go out that radius. But let's read a little bit on. Matter of fact, I got another video. So this quick excerpt says the CCTV cameras are everywhere. China has over half of the world's total surveillance cameras, and they are all connected to a single system called Skynet. It says also China is integrating, so not just that they're controlling people and tracking people, it says also China is integrating central bank digital currency into its social credit scoring system. So how you live in society is going to affect your finances. It's going to cut you off from certain things and allow you to do certain things. It says to buy food and drinks from vending machines, you must have a social credit score of at least 550, which is required by the Chinese digital wallet app WeChat or Alipay. It says without that, you cannot buy anything. Now for America, with the American central bank, which is the Fed, what they got coming out, the Fed Now. That's gonna be the app for Americans. You have to use that Fed Now in order to get by in society. But as you see, they cutting off. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring out a quick precept. Went a little minute without a precept. The second Ezra 15 in the GNT. Just real quick. But we see this according to prophecy because cities was gonna be cut off from free access. How we see people moving today, going about doing what they gotta do, going to this store and that store, all that's gonna be cut out, man. The mom and pop stores, the hole in the walls. What's only gonna be left is the big box stores, and in order to get access to them, you're gonna have to have a credit score that live up to the standards of this society, man. I'm gonna bring this out real quick. This second Ezra 15 and 16 in the GNT. It says there will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control. Talking about the times we're in. It says while ignoring the legitimate government. It's the point, verse 17. And there will no longer be free access to the cities. Everybody ain't gonna be able to move around like they want. We see it's 15-minute cities. They tracking everything. Everything you buy go be tracked, and your social credit score, if you agree with the government or not. And say like we doing these videos, men and elder, we doing these videos, our social credit score will go down. It will go down because we have a disagreement with the government. So they'll penalize us for that. You know? So on and so forth. Read it again. It says, 2 Ezra 15 and 17, GNT, there will no longer be free access to the cities because the struggle for power will bring destruction. These nations because they fighting right now and really to see who will be the leader of the next world, which they think is going to be a digital world. So they're going to be as they struggle for power, it's going to push them close to World War III. It says, because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. Driven by famine and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. But the point is, there will no longer be free access to the cities. And when you go into that second Ezra 15, that was end time prophecy. And we read an article in live time how they setting up 15-minute cities. Social credit scoring CBDCs that sound a lot like second Ezra 15. No more free access. You got something, Zaquan? If not, I'll play the vid.
No, I'm good.
Okay, Con. I'll play a little bit of this real quick. Let's see. So this from Al Jazeera News. It says China's city of the future.
All farmland, Shang'an, a city of almost 2,000 square kilometers, was built from scratch in just 6 years. Dujingnan is one of tens of thousands of people whose homes and villages were demolished to make way for the project.
Oh, you hear that? Their homes and villages was demolished to make way for the project. Elder Tazapa, you spoke about it a couple of times with that Maui situation. You know how those fires in Maui, how really they was clearing that to make way for these new cities that they gonna experiment putting out there. So as we can see, as Esau and these other governments begin to build these 15-minute cities, current neighborhoods and establishments gonna have to be taken out the way in order for them to establish that. So guess what we can see more? False flags, as they say, so-called natural disasters, which we know a lot of these things ain't natural, they forced. They could be forcing events on people to get them to comply with the new way, man.
We were farmers for generations, but now we live in these high-rise apartments, and I'm very happy.
Authorities did not allow Al Jazeera to speak to any other residents, but were keen to showcase its state-of-the-art facilities. This is one of Xiong'an's smart buses. The driverless and electric buses are undergoing trials and will eventually be free for the public to use. They can drive for up to 200 kilometers before needing to be charged. The buses have sensors that react to traffic, pedestrians and bad weather with a detection range of almost 250 meters. Xiong'an was built to ease some of the congestion in Beijing, home to more than 20 million people. Independent urban design experts liken it to an experiment.
Man, say the video still echoing. What's the we'll do? I'll skip that one. Let's move on. I'll get through this because it said the video still echoing. I don't know if you heard echo advertiser Paul. But let me read this real quick. So it says China is integrating central bank digital currency into its social credit score system. And again, remember this. This is not just China, as we keep saying, man. And as we bringing this out, we telling you they linking the banking system, your finances, to how you are accepted in society, man. Sound like Revelation 13. You have to get down in order to buy and sell. But it says to buy food or drinks from vending machines, you have to have a sufficient social credit score of 550, which is required by Chinese digital wallet WeChat or Alipay.
Payments. This is the vending machine downstairs. Scan the face first. Enter the last 4 digits of the phone number. And that's it. Don't need to carry the phone or money with you. It can clearly know what items you took. At the end, you have to confirm the purchase and amount on the...
And that's pretty much it on that one. I'm going to throw that in the chat so y'all can check it out. But you see these 15 minute cities being set up, man. So keep an eye out. And just because you may see in Houston or Dallas, they building up these apartments, don't just think it's apartments because they want to bring in more citizens. You know, no, these things are going to be used for the next world to come, as they would think. You know, going to be putting right into the Internet of Things. Because remember, they talk about a digital public infrastructure. So these new buildings, these new businesses, these new roads, they setting up these new lights, they putting on the roads. All that's going to go into the new way of doing things, man. Okay, yeah, the brother Arak said, he said it echoes when the elder Tazapah talk. Arak Wakar said, so. Yeah, might I'm not sure
why. Let me try to restart.
You can try. It might just be the phone. I don't know if you got, another link open up with YouTube or something,
Everything closed.
Want to try to restart and come back in?
Con.
Okay, Con. Hey, at the water, and well, first, hey, Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Shah Brakatham to the Agim Aquat out there who tuning in, we're gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna wait till the elder to come back in. But you see on this last article we touched on, man, just because it's in China, remember what Klaus Schwab said a couple weeks ago, that China is the format, in other words, to the world, man. This is the example they want the world to be like. And we see they setting up these 15-minute cities, cameras everywhere, and your social credit score, how you accepted into society, will be linked with your bank account. So if you ain't agreeing with the government, you can't get into this business. You can't pay here. All right. Now this is another honorable mention, as you see this from SGT report. This is put out November 20th. It says Australia officially bans cash and mandates Bill Gates' digital passport to participate in society. And we spoke about last week, they got accelerate DPI, which is they need to accelerate the digital public infrastructure, and they call it 50 and 5. So y'all can go look up, and I'm keep checking this to make sure they'll come back on, but they're calling it 50 and 5. Getting 50 countries fully set up with the digital system in 5 years. The point is, they saying they got to accelerate these things. Why? Because Revelation 12 and 12, Esau knew he got a short time. So we about to see a lot of stuff speed up, just like we're going to speak on when we play this video right here. This is a quick vid. how it says they're gonna sell the public on CBDCs in 2024. So they gotta push these things, man. That would have came on. Okay, come on. Lord willing, we should be straight. Gone. Let's see. But yeah, I just mentioned this real quick, Zaquan, but we'll move on. So let's play this quick little video right here. Now again, it says this from RTD TV. This the guy named Mike. I forget his last name, but Mike. You know, Apostle Tahar put a couple of his own. This is who he watched. But he put out an article, should I say a video 2 days ago. It says financial inclusion, selling the public on CBDCs in 2024. All right. And again, we see how the Lord, he have prophecies. They be talked about in mainstream media. They be hot for a moment. Then they die down. And then something else happened. Remember the beginning of the year, what we was talking about mainly? Vietnam, the digital system. Then that died down for a while. And then what was the hot topic? The wars in Ukraine and Russia. And then a war in Israel and Hamas. But as we see going back into 2024, what's going to be the main push? The digital dollar, central banking digital currency, which going to lead to what? That RFID micro CHIP, man. Which you know is the MOTB. I know it's a lot of code words, but it's, if you know, you know. You see? This is what they're going back to. Why? And why is war and the digital system being talked about mainly? Because these the last two prophecies left. That's it. The mark of the beast and missiles being shot off. And everything else going to happen between them. See? But if you got something else, Zaquan?
Yeah, I don't know if it's still echoing. Yeah, I hear it.
You hear it?
I don't know what's up.
Can y'all hear him still echoing? Hold on, let me see if I can mute this screen. Can y'all hear him still echoing?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Okay, that's all good. We could probably try to invest in a mic or something, you know?
Wait, is it still doing it?
I don't know. If brothers on there, y'all can let us know. Or sister on there, let us know. Yeah, it's still echoing, con. Yeah, this says still echoing. Con. Yeah, I ain't too sure.
Yeah, Tom, bro. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, everybody distracted by these holidays. You know what I'm saying? They clueless as to this system that's closing in around them. You know, like they all in Esau's trick bag.
That's it. Like when they say peace and safety, everybody in that, you know, the Thanksgiving spirit, looking forward to Christmas.
Right.
And little do they know these prophecies gonna hit. Right, but I'll go ahead and I'm gonna put you on mute because I don't know if it's echoing with the video either, you know. Oh damn, he left. Well, we'll continue. Shalakia 2 for the technical difficulties. So let's go back to this video with RTD TV. And it says financial inclusion, selling the public on CBDCs in 2024. Now I'm even give a disclaimer because even this video right here, usually he got good videos. But even when I was watching his video, it was echoing when I was watching it. And it was going too fast. So I'm gonna play it. And I might have to slow it down because he was talking fast and this video is echoing. Right? So let's see. Let me make sure it's on. Tap the pop back on. Come on. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it. And again, I might have to slow it down.
News segment. They removed the one topic included they wanted called monetary awareness. All right, welcome to the RT News segment. Excited to connect real quick and share with you some interesting yet possibly disturbing news about the coming marketing push for CBDCs, trying to use the words inclusion as a selling point. So take a listen to this.
How do I boil down, years of people trying to...
Now, I'm going to stop it right here because what is Edomite about to talk about. But before he said They gonna have a whole new marketing push forward in 2024. Now, along with this push, gonna have to come the other side, because the push gonna be the solution for it. So expect to see some dangers and some hard times, so this push could be justified, man. So they could be having commercials on it. You know, they might give you a bank. You might get $1,000. You know, just whatever, just free if you sign up for the Fed now. They're gonna start pushing these things, and it says starting in 2024. That's a month away, man. Now, what this Edomite about to talk about, because again, when he was talking, the scripture that came to mind is Sirach 12. Never trust thine enemies, because they gonna put it out there as that we need CBDCs so everybody in the world can be included, so nobody could be homeless and poor no more. But again, this is Esau. This is lies, man. They're making it seem like they want to help, but they're not here to help. They're making it seem as if they want the impoverished people, the homeless people, to be able to get benefits. And at the same time, the people who already could pay their way in society and get by, you know, the day-to-day citizens, they're going to make their life hard. So therefore, everybody going to want to be included in this new system. The poor people, because they can get benefits, and the people who are already surviving in society, their life will be made hard, so they're going to want to conform over to the new system. Come on, man. Esau is the devil, man. He hitting on all sides, but I'm going to play it.
Coming marketing push for CBDCs, trying to use the words inclusion as a selling point. So take a listen to this.
And I've boiled down, years of people trying to fix financial inclusion down into 1 minute. I'm going to try. Hi, my name is James Wallace, and this is Crypto in a Minute. Firstly, what does financial inclusion mean? Financial inclusion means that there are people all around the world, from the US to Africa to Asia, all over, that do not get access to financial services like other people. And the reason is twofold. One is they typically have a very low income, and they have no arrangement or no relationship already with a financial institution, so they have no credit history. And secondly,
talking about poor people, they don't have no credit history, they don't have no bank accounts. Your day-to-day poor people we see daily. He's talking about them. Now, you know Esau don't care about them, man. So now all of a sudden you got a heart for them, right? And you want them to be included. Why? Because they need to be connected to the system in order for him to have total control. They don't really care about these poor people. They don't care about the lower class. They don't care about the middle class. But they're making it seem as if everybody got to be included. I'm going to get a precept. I'm going to let him finish talking. But that goes into how this coming for all the world. Everybody got to be included, from rich to poor.
already with a financial institution, they have no credit history. And secondly, that the banks that serve in those countries, those are commercial organizations, and they have shareholders that they have to be responsive to. And it's very difficult to make money out of people that have no money, right? It's a bit of a conundrum. However,
it's hard to make money from people who don't have no money. But he gonna say, but we got the solution. We know how to do it now. And what's the solution? CBDC, get everybody tied to this one system.
Conundrum.
However, Esau smiling. This is your devil.
And it's very difficult to make money out of people that have no money, right? It's a bit of a conundrum. However, with CBDCs, we can fix that. CBDCs are very low cost and can allow financial services to be provided on a much, much lower cost basis than you do today. So that will enable people to have simple payment opportunities. It will allow people to build up some credit history and have the ability to borrow some money so they can grow their business. On and on about this, but I see that I'm up with my 60 seconds, so let's call it a day.
All right, so there you go. Quick 60-second rant about how beneficial CBDCs can be for the upcoming transition. And of course, they highlight all the problems created by the current banking structure. So, thought I would just come together, come and just share this. Came off this headline as well as that clip there. Had to share my 2 cents on it just because I'm really going to be combating and trying to rebuttal a lot of the arguing points this upcoming year in reference to the whole CBDC push, because there's no way around it. They're working on it. It's already done. And it's unfortunate that, the current cryptocurrency sector.
And if I can make this point, because I know we get into the, our comfort zone, just mentioning CBDC, because we've been talking about it for months, really a year, but we may have new listeners. So what's a CBDC? Why is they pushing this? The CBDC stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. Now, people may say, well, what's the difference? Because we've been having digital currencies. Well, we've been having BDCs, bank digital currencies, as if you can go on an app, right? Or go on your phone and transact money and spend money and send money. But that was connected to your bank. But now it's connected to the central bank. That's the CBDC part, the central bank digital currencies. Now the central bank, what is the difference between them and the regular bank? Well, the central bank is linked to the government. The banks ain't. Central bank is linked to the government. So therefore, when the government make laws and rules and legislation, the central bank will make the same thing. So now, for example, Wells Fargo, they can't tell you because you don't agree with LGBT, you can't buy here, or you can't use your money here, or because you did this in society, you can't use your money here. But guess who can? The government and the central bank can. They can have a say so in your money. That's the difference between it. It ain't just you having digital currencies. No, you have digital currency, but it's programmable. It's programmable because the central bank and the government have a hand in it, because now they can make laws. So, well, the only way you can get this money is you abide by our rules. That's the difference, man. That's what's coming. A central bank digital currencies, not just the regular digital apps and shit we've been using, man. That's how they gonna get people.
I.e. Ripple seems to be leading the way. So here's a headline from Cryptopolitan. It says James Wallace praises CBDCs for financial inclusion. So that word inclusion, we're going to hear a lot more of that. But who is that guy? The vice president of Ripple. And so basically, Ripple is, for the most part, leading the charge, as I mentioned. So I'll thumb through some things here that caught my attention and go from there. But it says, specializing in central bank engagements and central bank digital currencies, recently highlighted the transformative potentials of CBDCs enhancing global financial inclusion. So ultimately, Ripple's at the forefront, it seems, helping central banks come up with CBDCs. So as of now, about 20 or so central banks they're working with right here. So it says Ripple, under Wallace's guidance, has been actively engaging with over 20 central banks worldwide on various CBDC initiatives. The company has positioned itself as a technology partner in these projects, notably in the second phase of Georgia's digital layering project. Says furthermore, Ripple's collaborations extend to countries like Bhutan, Palau, Montenegro, Colombia, Hong Kong, reflecting its commitment to fostering CBDC development across different regions. I think it goes on and on and on. Just talk about more of the same. So as I mentioned before, we would not be here if it wasn't for the current mess that the central banks and governments have put us in as of right now. So I always want to go back to the Economist cover from 1988, where we were told well in advance that heading into this decade to get ready for a world currency. And of course, we know we're near a world currency. But as a result of the current financial structure going through shifts, i.e. with currency being destroyed, they're definitely using technology for themselves. We're going to hear a lot more buzzwords such as inclusion, diversity, equity, you name it, heading into 2024. I thought I would just log on.
Heading into 2024, so expect to see a lot of digital inclusion and CBDC, Fed now, UBI. What's UBI? Universal Basic Income. You know how when the CV19 hit, everybody was getting those stimulus checks. Whoa, that was like a foreshadowing to UBI, because when the next event or danger or lockdown come, yeah, you're gonna get stimulus checks, but it's gonna be in a form of UBI. It's gonna be digital now. And everybody ain't gonna get it either. So that's what they're pushing towards.
Log in real quick.
I'm gonna play a little bit more and I'll get a precept.
Share with you what's happening in the mainstream news, and how as we move closer to the new year, you're going to be hearing all types of hype about CBDCs, and the biggest ploy is to try to sell it to those who are monetarily uninformed in hopes of getting buy-in from the public. And of course, as a result of the deterioration of our economy globally, it's going to be a lot easier to sell it, because by that time, people will have been primed to think that a viable solution would be a CBDC. So, in emergency, log in real quick.
Y'all hear that? I'm gonna replay that. Expect to hear more, and the closer we get to next year, people gonna be suffering, so they're gonna be looking for a solution. And voila, according to Esau, he got the solution, man. And that's gonna go right into this next article we're gonna read. This video we're gonna watch, which is you will beg for the CBDC after they break the economy. These is things we can expect, or these are things we can expect heading into 2024. But let's finish this a little bit.
Real quick, share with you what's happening in the mainstream news, and how as we move closer to the new year, you're going to be hearing all types of hype about CBDCs, and the biggest ploy is to try to sell it to those who are monetarily uninformed in hopes of getting buy-in from the public. And of course, as a result of the deterioration of our economy globally, it's going to be a lot easier to sell it, because by that time, people will have been primed to think that a viable solution would be a CBDC. So, in emergency situation, if something like a CBDC is rolled out officially, it won't be nothing new. Therefore, even the politicians in DC will be more on board with perhaps changing the Federal Reserve Charter, as well as their mandates and the UCC code, and rewriting it so that they can include the language of something in reference to a digital representation of the USD outside of what we already have, which is predominantly digital. Also transferring power back into the hands of a much smaller few. But anyway, thought I was,
But you know, that's what it is. I got a quick precept as a quant of view.
Yeah, con.
So like you heard that? You heard it? I don't even know what you heard. I thought you was in here. But I'll get this quick precept because this is going to lead to Revelation 3 and 10. This Yahushua says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. What's the hour of temptation? These CBDCs, these little buzzwords, UBI, at the end of the day, it's going to lead up to the MOTB. It's all buzzword, which you know is the market of this beast. You know, the RFID micro C hip, man. That's the hour of temptation when everybody be tried, when life is hard. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. It's the point I want. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All the world. Hence, going into what we about to start hearing in this news is financial inclusion. Poor countries, homeless people, rich countries, we all need to come together and get on this same thing right. The whole world, man. So the Lord is setting this up. I got Revelation 13 as a quant if you want to break it down, but you got it though.
Yeah. No. I was gonna bring out that Revelation 13, but I still hear that echo. Try muting your mic.
Okay, kind. I just muted the screen and yours, but you got it though. You got it.
Yeah. I don't know if brothers can chime in if the echo is still there. Brother still there? All right, well, I was going to bring out Revelation chapter 13, beginning with 16.
Yeah, you not echoing. I don't hear echo. I just heard it.
Oh, so it stopped?
Yeah, you should be good because I don't hear it. Yeah, they say it's good now. They say it's good.
I believe it was reverbing through your mic, maybe. But anyway, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, you was going into the difference between the CBDC and the already existing cryptocurrency and digital currencies that's out there, and which you use the term banking digital currencies. Okay, but the main difference in one word between what was already or what has already existed and what they trying to go is mandatory. All right, with the other CBDCs, what was it? The cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and whatnot. What was the other ones they got out there? There's a lot of them, but they were options. They were not mandatory. You still had the option to use cash. They're doing away with that option with CBDC. That's going to be the way that all transactions will be done. And this is pursuing to what I just read here, Revelation 13 and 16. And again, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, all right? Small and great alike. Joe Six-Pack, until you entertainers, you millionaires, you multimillionaires, you billionaire entertainers, sports figures, politicians, all y'all, small and great. And it says, rich and poor, which your brother touched on that. They want to get everybody. Those with 800 credit, 700 credit, those with no credit. All right, they going to entrap everybody, and because that's what it is. It's a trap. It's a snare. All right, a snare that will kill you. Either one way or the other. It's gonna cause you to be put to death. If the technology itself doesn't kill you, the Most High will. And so again, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now that word mark comes from the Greek word charagma. And when you go into charagma, it just means something implanted or inserted. Okay, and when you go into the root of that, you'll see the word karax. All right. And karax, it goes back into prick, or you'll see the term palisade. All right. A palisade, rampart, pale, or stake. That's, the brother at the water pulled it up on the screen. So that's karax. All right. Now it's saying that a pale or stake, a palisade is just like like a stake. It's a stick with a short point on the end. All right. Now that's significant because the way that this MARK will be administered would be through syringe, which the needle on the syringe is a palisade. Okay. Now the brother's pulling up some examples of pictures and you see that wood right there, that's a palisade, and that pricks, impales, all right? And that's exactly what that syringe is going to do to implant it's an actual MARK, all right? Because your boy went up there, Vocab was on Sinetta show, and he said it's not physical, it's symbolic. It's a symbolic mark, And he was doing good up until then, but he wants you to believe. See, you see that needle right there? That's a palisade. That's a palisade. All right, which we know is a syringe, but that's the tool. All right, that's going to be used to fit you wicked and you mortmains, you heathens, with this technology. All right, so I was speaking about what was I speaking about?
Revelation
Anyway,
13.
going back in. You saying something?
Yeah, I said you was on Revelation 13.
You're right. I had a point, but it'll come back. But yeah, we're going back to the verse. All right, Revelation 13 and 17. It says, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." All right. So that's the significance of the CBDC. They're implementing an infrastructure of physical, tangible. Oh, back to vocab. That's what vocab said, that it's a symbolic mark. It's not physical, but everything that we're reading about, even with the definition of charagma, and then going into karax, as the brother pulled up, is giving you physical definitions: a palisade, a stake. All right. And going into charagma, something inserted or to prick. All right, then you go even deeper into that. Karax, the root of karax is grapho. All right, and then that's where you get to write. All right, where you get the term graph, autograph, telegraph, to write. So they're going to put that chip in you that's going to contain all of your personal info. All right. And that's going to be financial, medical, and personal. Your very own ID is going to be all on that MARK that they're going to insert into your right hand, or with this Neuralink shit into your forehead. And this is going to simulate you into this infrastructure that it's a cyber digital infrastructure that they're that they're building, well, that's how they're going to fit you into that infrastructure through this charagma. All right, it's going to link you to that internet of bodies or the internet of things, and you'll just be another another thing. All right, with your very own UPC code. All right, because that mark is also your UPC code to identify and track you. All right, so that's how you're going to interact with society, how you're going to be able to buy or sell. All right, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save, which means except he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. In the Greek, that's chi xi stigma, all right? Chi xi stigma, and that term stigma lines right up with charagma, because stigma means to prick, okay? And one of the brothers at the main camp after show, this was maybe a month or so back, he brought out that one of the main companies that's pushing, well, I believe it was 3 separate companies that's pushing this chip, that put the chip out. One at the beginning of one's logo is Chai, the other's logo is Xi, and then the other company's logo is Stigma. All right, going right in line with the 666 of Chi Xi Stigma. You got actual marking companies that uses those Greek logos, those Greek characters for those numbers, 666, because they know what it is. All right, you got people out here who have no idea as to what's going on and what time it is, although they're feeling the pressure, they're feeling the heat. And they don't, well, it's just, just a little inflation. We get Biden out of there, and the next president, he'll fix it. They're optimistic about this bullshit. This is bullshit. We're living in bullshit. The goddamn people that run this country running amok. They've gone rogue. They hold no accountability to you people out here while you sitting at the table, blessing white Jesus, thanking white Jesus for some goddamn turkey and some goddamn ham. All right? They're getting ready to spring this trap on you, and you're going to be none the wiser, like a deer in the headlights, looking stupid when you get rolled over. But this is the shit that's coming, man. You people are optimistic, and you don't even have faith in the kingdom. We optimistic toward the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah that's to come. That's our optimism, our optimism. You people ain't got that. For you 2/3 out there, you Jake, we brought you the gospel. We done preached the gospel to you so that you might have hope. Now you out here with a false hope and getting ready to be, a lot of you eliminated. The rest of you gonna be living in a horror movie. Esau is gonna make your life a living hell, all right? Because you didn't want to take heed to the words of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. But all of this is coming down the pipe, all right? The video that the brother was playing, the videos, China is the shining example. Going back to, and the brother's going to go into Second Ezra. But Asia, that are partaker of her hope, the hope of Babylon, she's the shining example for where they want to go. But they're also running beta tests in Switzerland also, but mainly in Australia. All right, because the brother posted the clip, Australia done banned cash. And see, this just, and the article I saw was from the 21st. I'm not sure when that one was dated, but it's just overnight. So like you just gonna wake up one day and ain't no, you gonna try to go buy something with cash, it ain't gonna happen. They're not gonna give you any warning. They just gonna roll this shit out. All right, and then all of a sudden, cash is gonna be no longer accepted. So yeah, brother, if you had something on that revelation you wanted to go into.
Nah, that's spot on. That's spot on, Zaquan. Shit. That's it. Because ultimately, if I could add real quick, because, CBDC and UBI, that's buzzwords for the ultimate plan. What we seeing now is gradualism for their main plan. They can get the world under their order except that CHIP be put into people, man. Because when the CBDC come, or the Fed now system, which you're going to have to use the CBDC if you're in America through the Fed now system, right? Because the Federal Reserve is the central bank for America. So that's going to be the system people will be used. Now, it might start off, again, with gradualism, slow. They might throw it out there like a stimulus check, but you're going to have to maybe download an app or get a certain debit card they might send you, and you're going to have to use that. But eventually, as time's going to go on, which time will be short, once they start doing this, as the apostles always say, time will move even faster. But eventually, as the worst things get, they're going to have to speed it up to a CHIP being put in you, man. But this is going to be just the stepping stones to get people mind already ready to be included in this system, man. So once, and shit, if you ain't got it, Zaquan, I'll put his last little vid, maybe about 2 minutes of it, and that's pretty much it. Because as this man was going into, once the economy crash and all hell break loose, people ain't gonna have no say, so they're gonna be begging for this CBDC, begging for this this RFID micro CHIP. Why? Because they're gonna be struggling like they never struggled before. At that point, they're gonna be looking for government assistance, man. And now the new government assistance gonna be digital assistance. You see? And that remind me of we might have to pull that, but Joseph in Egypt. When times got hard and that famine came, everybody was willing to give up their whole living and life savings, even themselves, just to get some food. How much more in these times, man? But you got some real quick, Zaquan? If not, I'll play like 2 minutes of this next vid, and shoot, that's pretty much it.
Okay, yeah, I got one more precept, but I'm gonna wait till after you play the clip.
Okay, Con, that's a bet. I'm gonna go ahead and play it. And y'all let me know too if it echo, because I just turned this mic back on. So Baba Kashad, chat, let me know if it echo. So this is from the Money GPS. He get busy. He be getting busy. So I recommend brothers, out there to go Aquaf to go subscribe. But he just put a video up which was 4 days ago. And he just put a new one up like 2 days ago going into the digital public infrastructure if y'all want to get more insight on that. But this one says you will beg for the CBDC after they break the economy. Because right now, you got it.
Been saying that since I've known that Jake gonna beg for that. Jake gonna line up for that mark. We've been saying it, but the apostle been saying it from day one. Yeah, these people they not ready to give up this lifestyle. So yeah.
So I'll go ahead and play a little bit of this video, just probably like a minute or two. Now again, chat, I'm gonna throw it in the chat so y'all can check it out at y'all leisure. But I'm gonna just play a little bit of it. Here you go.
Universal Basic Income and CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency, are coming. We know that. They will have to use a particular crisis to take advantage of this. And of course, roll this out to the public. It will.
I'm gonna stop right there. Listen to him. We've been talking about this, man, every week for the past year, really. It's going to be a certain event or a crisis to give them the green light to roll this out, to give them the green light to make new laws and legislation. Shit, Elder Tasapa, you can expound more than I can with this because I was a child back then. But with 9/11, you ain't have TSA all in the airports. You ain't have cameras everywhere. But once that happened, Americans was fearing for their lives, was willing to give up their freedom for security. And that's when America passed the Patriot Act. Now you got cameras everywhere. How much more this new event? Whatever gonna happen, these people go fear it so much, they're gonna be willing to give up the last freedoms they got. Just to get some protection or some comfort or safety, as they would think, from this government, man. But the next time, it ain't just gonna be cameras or TSA. It's gonna be you getting digital grains of rights in your body. You getting tracked from your every move, every spending, your social credit, how you move around in society. All that's gonna be tracked, man. These people gonna be willing to give it up once this next event happen. It could be lights going off. You got it. So like what you say is kind of, I ain't hear you.
Oh no, I was just saying there's be drones everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Land, sky. I'm sure in the water. They're gonna, it's gonna be a complete lockdown.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Troops on the street. All that, man. This the times we coming. Not this is times we really in. They already starting it, man. But let's play them a little bit more.
A UBI, Universal Basic Income.
And again, UBI for layman's terms is a digital stimulus check. That's it.
A UBI, Universal Basic Income, and CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency, are coming. We know that. They will have to use a particular crisis to take advantage of this, and of course, roll this out to the public. It will be globally, and we know this to be the case because they're all working on it right now.
You hear that? It's going to be globally. The other times I just went into it. He calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Remember, they said inclusion. Revelation 3 says that's going to come upon all the world. So there's got to be talking about the same prophecy we talking about, man.
I'm going to tell you today how they can not only roll these out, but they will combine them together. I'm going to tell you about all the potential measures in which they can do this and what excuses they can use. That's the way these things are done. Unprecedented events result in certain consequences, and we'll explain that here and now. In the previous videos to this, we looked at how they had rolled out things that they never did before. But now today, we're going to look at this specifically. This is the most worrisome event that we could see in the coming years. And I want to make sure everybody knows what we could be in for. So let's listen close. Direct and efficient payments. One of the main arguments for CBDCs is the efficiency of digital transactions. In a crisis scenario, if a government decided to implement UBI as a response, a CBDC could be the quickest and most efficient way to distribute these funds to citizens. Traditional bank transfers could be slower and might exclude those without bank accounts. You see that? We have a crisis on our hands. You need the money quickly. Sign here on the dot. This is just one potential. But it, of course, is one of many. Let's talk about others. Financial inclusion.
You hear that? It's going to be a crisis. People going to be willing to just sign here and wherever. Right? As a matter of fact, because that's pretty much all I really want to play. There's a lot more in them. You got it.
You've been seeing these videos on these commercials on YouTube. They're talking about get your $6,400 now.
Man, as a spirit, so like you got it, as a spirit. I thought about that the other day. You got it. You got it.
Go ahead, brother.
No, Zaquan, you got it. You got it.
No, I just felt like they trying to bait people in with that. You know, that's one of the beginning stages of it to get people tricked or get them addicted. You know, to getting that easy money. But yeah, I was seeing that it's talking about get your free $6,400, and I said, nah, I ain't taking nothing from the government right now. Because they trying to tie all this shit into this mark. But what you had?
Nah, because I seen that the other day because it's been popping up. They'll say you get your $6,400. Oh, you see me living like this? That's because I got free money from the government. If you sign up here, you'll get $3,500. I've been seeing that though lately. But you know, simple Americans, they're gonna fall for it. You know, they're gonna fall for it. And I want to get this real quick. I thought it was in Genesis, when it said how the money failed in Egypt, how everybody was willing to give up everything just to get government assistance. Money failed in Egypt. Let's see if I can type it in. That's pretty much all I had. Okay, Genesis 47. Shit, Baba Kasha, you chime in. Genesis 47, because this what he talking about, because right here, even in the title of this video, it says you will beg for the CBDC after they break the economy. So after whatever false flag or event that's gonna happen, mass death that the Lord gonna have go on, and once these people really get fear into them, they gonna be willing to give up all they so-called rights just to get some government assistance. Now, what the scriptures say, the things that was written aforetime was written for our learning. And also that there's no new thing under the sun. Now, back then, when there was a famine in Egypt, which went in New Egypt, everybody was going to our forefather Joseph. And now, mind you, as they was going to him to get assistance from the government, because it was a famine, they was willing to give up everything, even themselves. That's the time we're coming into, man. These citizens gonna be able to be willing to give up their children, their rights, their freedoms, even put their hand on that desk and say, as long as I get my UBI or CBDC. Let's get this as an example. This is Genesis 47:13. It says, and there was no bread in all the land. I'm getting a little excited. It says, Genesis 47:13, and there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. So people were struggling. It says, and Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they brought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. Verse 15. And when money failed in the land of Egypt, in modern terms, when is money going to fail? When that dollar collapsed. When the dollar collapsed and everything go digital. What he said in his title? You will beg for the CBDC after they break the economy. So in ancient times, this is an ancient breaking the economy. It says, when the money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread. Now, mind you, what was Joseph's position? He was second in command in Egypt. So when it said they came to Joseph, really they went to who? The government. They went to the government and said what? And they came to Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. We ain't got no more money. It ain't worth nothing. Please, Baba Kasha, give us some bread. Right? It says, and Joseph said, if you want to get this bread, right? He says, and Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail. And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses and for flocks and for the cattle and for herds and for the asses. And he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. They gave up their livelihoods, man. They gave up their resources just to get government assistance. But that's not where it stopped at. Times got harder. It says, verse 18, and when that year was ended, they came unto him a second year and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord, how that all our money is spent. My Lord also have our herds of cattle. Oh, that's another thing, Elder Tazapar, what Klaus Schwab said. For the new world, people gonna own nothing and be happy. We reading this ancient own nothing and being happy. These people was owning nothing, giving up everything just to be satisfied for some food from the Egyptian government, man. We literally seen the same thing play out. The World Economic Forum said the people go own nothing in this new world and be happy. You got to give up all your resources and rights. We reading it right here. So it says, they said how that our money is spent, and my Lord also have our herds of cattle, and there is not aught left in the sight of my Lord, but our bodies and our land. Verse 19, wherefore should we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto thee and Pharaoh, and give us seed. So they begging for food, that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. So what was the last thing they was going to give up? Their bodies and their land. And it says, and Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them, so the land became Pharaoh's. And it's the point. What is, to finish it out. And as for the people, he removed them into cities. So look, the modern day giving up your body is you putting your hand on that table, getting that injection, that palisade getting stuck in you. And also what we got earlier, 15-minute cities they're going to put these people in. Concentration camps. Well, even right here, after Joseph bought these people, it says, and as for the people, he removed them to the cities from one end of the borders of Egypt, even to the other thereof. These are going to be the same ones who get them chips. They're going to be able to get by in those cities, man. 15-minute cities, concentration camps, so on and so forth. So we see, as the scripture says, things that was written aforetime was written for our learning. The same events that we talking about, all hell need to break loose, or a certain catastrophic event need to happen so these people will be willing to buy in to this CBDC system, this digital system. Now, whether the Most High do something or Esau fakes something, it's still going to happen. It's the point, man. But that's pretty much it, Zaquan. I'll put these articles in the chat. You got something? You was on mute.
No, brother, I'll save it. We can close it out.
Con, that's a bet. Well, yeah, we'll pick up, Lord willing, next week. The Lord allows us to bring out more. And even if it ain't on this topic, man, there's a lot of stuff going on. So it's always stuff to talk about. It's always stuff to talk about. We living in that time of Habakkuk, the second chapter at the end of the show, speaking out loud. But hey, at the water for tuning in, Shades, Zaquan, if you want, you could take us out.
Yeah, I just say, Salaki to the for the technical difficulties in the audio and whatnot. We'll work out the kinks and we'll be back hitting strong next week. Lord willing, I'll be retired. So Salaki, just bear with us. We're gonna get this thing together. So, to the next one again, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, No honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, peace and blessings to the 144,000, and the rest of the elect, to the next one, Shalom.
Shalom. The water for tuning in, Shalom.